Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches here. Welcome to my channel where together we sew. If you're brand new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out a whole lot. And if you're not new and you're coming back, thank you so much for returning. I love seeing your comments down below. They encourage me and help me keep going. So today is the final assembly of my Blue-tiful sew along. I'm super excited to finish this up and get it together. So don't forget to grab the PDF down below. It'll link you to my website, and it's the final assembly instructions. If you've been sewing along with me, or you just found me and you'd like to sew this up, grab all the patterns off of my website. They're all PDF downloads. The fabric requirements, cutting instructions, and each week's blocks are up there. They'll only stay up about a week or two after I finish my sew along. Once I take them down, I put the information up for the following sew along, and then they won't be available. So if you've been sewing along and you can't finish this week, go ahead and grab those patterns. Once they're down, they're down. But I wanted to thank everybody for sewing along. This was a really fun one. I've wanted to do a total blue quilt, like a completely blue quilt, for a long time, and I was so happy when I found this fairy frost fabric to make this quilt out of it, because this fabric is just gorgeous. It looks completely different on camera than it does in real life. If you've bought the kit and have it right there in front of you, you know what I mean. It's beautiful. So I can't wait to get this done. So let's take a peek at what the quilt looks like. Okay, so here's the quilt completely done. I'm gonna go through how you need to put your blocks together to make the rows. Make sure you have your blocks labeled as instructed earlier in the when we were doing the blocks. Remember, I asked you to label them A, B, C, and D. That's going to be really important. And don't forget to download the PDF, which I have linked down below, for the diagram of how to put this together. So your corner pieces are block A. So you're going to have 4 of these pieces, and they're going to go in each of your 4 corners of the quilt. Then you're going to have a block C and a block D, and those two are always going to go next to each other. So it's C, D, and then your B blocks make up the center star. So you're going to start with your first B block, and the solid square is going to be in the upper left, and then you're just going to twist it each time, and you're going to turn it, and then your solid will end up here, turn it again, it's going to end up here, turn it again, it'll end up down here. So all 4 of those pieces are going to make up this center star. So that's pretty simple. And then I would make the star, and then I would add your side pieces, and then add the top row and the bottom row. Now the top row and the bottom row are exactly the same. They're just flipped over. So you're going to have A, C, D, A, and then you're going to have D, B, B, C, and then you're going to have C, B, B, D, and then you're going to have A, D, C, A. So as long as you've got all your pieces labeled, this will go together really quick and easy. And then I went ahead and put my borders on. So make sure you put your left and right border on first. You're going to take your 3.5-inch strips that we cut at the very beginning. We cut 7 strips, so you're going to use 1 for each side plus a half. So cut 1 of your strips in half, add it to the left and right side pieces. So you're going to be using 3 out of the 7 strips to do the left and right. And then you're going to sew for the top and bottom. Out of the 4 that are left over, you're going to put 2 together for the top and 2 together for the bottom. You are going to have excess. You're going to cut off a piece about that long. But it's better to have a little excess than to be short. So put your left and right together first, or on first, and then put the top and bottom, and it'll come out great. So I hope you like the way it ended up. I love it. And thank you guys so much for doing this sew along with me. I've been wanting to do a totally blue quilt for a long time, because y'all know blue is my favorite color. And when I saw these fairy frost fabrics, I was just like, that's it. Well, got to make something with this. So for those of you who got the kit and are using the fairy frost fabrics, I hope you love it. I really do. They look better in person, I think, than on video. I've watched back some of the videos, and they don't shine and sparkle like they do in person. So I hope those of you who have this really love it, because I do, and I hope you liked my fabric choices. So that's it for this sew along. Thank you guys for sewing with me this summer. The next sew along will start either late August or early September. It's going to be a fall quilt, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult than this. Not hard, but a little bit more difficult. And then after that sew along, I'm going to have a Christmas sew along. So I've got the fabrics here for the Christmas one already, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting those and getting that quilt all done and written up. And the autumn quilt fabrics should be coming early August. So if you're interested in sewing in either of those two with me, look for the emails and posts on Facebook, things like that, about those kits going up for sale. Like I said, that will begin end of August or beginning of September, depending on the fabric arrival. And I'm really excited to do both of those. Both of them are, again, my patterns, and so I will offer you the PDFs for free. The autumn one, I will start putting up the fabric requirements very soon, within a couple weeks. So if you are sewing this and you haven't grabbed all the patterns, the fabric cutting guides or fabric requirements and all the patterns, make sure you grab these, because as soon as I put information about the autumn sew along up, these are going to come down. And so I will only usually leave these up for about a week or two after we finish, and I don't want you to miss out. So go ahead and grab these PDFs now and save them, even if you're not ready to sew them. And in a couple weeks, I'll let you know about the autumn sew along, so you can start either planning on grabbing the kit from me or start planning your own fabrics for the fall quilt. Now, somebody named me the half square triangle queen, which I think is really cute, because I know I love half square triangles. Part of that is because I love stars so much, and obviously most star blocks are made with half square triangles. So there will be half square triangles in the next couple of quilts. They will be, both of them are a little bit more challenging than this quilt, but none of them are hard. I try to make most of my patterns towards the beginner to beginner intermediate range, because I know there's a lot of new people watching, new quilters, which I think is amazing. Ever since people bought machines to sew masks and things like that, now people have a machine and they're saying, what do I do with it? So we've got a lot of new quilters in the community, which is great. So I try to make these super beginner friendly. So I hope that this has helped some of you that are beginners. And if you're not a beginner, I hope you still enjoyed sewing along, because I am definitely not a beginner, but I had fun doing this one. So anyway, take care. That's all I've got. Have a great week. I will be quilting this very soon. I have all the other sew alongs quilted now. The Secret Garden, my American Pride quilt, and some other things. And I'm going to be making a video trunk show of sorts, so look for that soon on YouTube. I wanted to get this one done before I finished the video. It's really hard to take pictures. I sew down in my basement, so it's kind of dark. So I'm going to take all the quilts outside, take pictures of them, of the quilting, and then put them in a video compilation so you all can see them, because I know a lot of you have been asking to see the finished quilts, and I do have a lot of them finished, and I've showed them here and there on lives, but it's very hard to see the quilting. So I'm going to kind of do it that way. So look for my trunk show video coming up soon. And even though the sew along doesn't start for a little bit yet, I'm still going to be here on YouTube opening boxes and sewing on my Saturdays with Steph live at 5 and some other fun videos along the way. So come on back to my channel, check me out, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. It sure helps me out a whole lot. So that's all I got for today, and I hope you again enjoyed this, you love your quilt, and I will see you next time. Thanks guys, bye.